You are about to become your specific person's number one priority overnight. And there's a really simple way that you could do this. It's just a way that you're going to view it in your mind, because we know in manifestation, everything is about your assumption. And yes, there's actually a simple trick that I use to kind of get my mind into that state. And it's something that you can use right here, right now. You don't have to wait. It's not going to take a day. It's not going to take hours. It's going to just take a few minutes for you to understand this idea to immediately start to implement it. And this occurs and is best used whenever things are seemingly working against you. Like if you feel like your reality is not showing up in the way that you want. If you imagine your specific person texting you or saying something or doing something that you dislike, this is when this strategy is going to work the absolute best. And it's just a way that you're going to imagine it again within your mind. So the question and the trick is, whatever is happening outside of you in the moment, whatever it is, third party, distance, circumstance, I want you to think to yourself, what would I do and how would I approach this if I knew in exactly 1 week from now I would be with my specific person? And you'll realize as soon as you start to think of it in that way, there's nothing that actually can take you out of the state, because you know that no matter what's happening, no matter how it's occurring, no matter what is showing up in your external reality, you know for a fact that you will be with your specific person by next week. And if you pretend to be like a time traveler who goes back in time a week before you guys come together and you were to witness this, how would you react to that? And you'll realize nothing takes you out of the state. There is nothing that could be happening in your reality that you would work against or fight against, because you would kind of see it for what it is, which is the bridge of events. And yes, the bridge of events can show up in ways that we think or perceive are negative, but are never actually negative. Your reality is always and constantly trying to get you to your specific person. It's taking you there in the quickest way possible. So again, ask yourself, if I knew for a fact 1 week from now I would be with my specific person, what would I be thinking about this situation? And there's no situation, how bad you think it would be, that this won't have an immediate and automatic positive effect on. Because even if it was something negative, it was your specific person talking about a third party, you would laugh, you would smile, because you know something about your reality that they don't know, right? You would know that everything is working out. And so whatever is happening whatever is happening in your reality must then be a bridge of events taking you to your manifestation. And again, there's nothing that this won't work on. Again, it might take a little bit of practice because it's all with the faith and the assumption. But imagine in your mind, take a book of page of Neville Goddard's book and just imagine for a moment what that would look like. And you'll realize if you knew it was guaranteed in a week, you would actually support whatever it is that was happening, because you would know it's bringing you exactly where you want to go. And a really fun example I had recently that shows this was an individual. I'm bringing up the success story. Was from this person. And what they wrote was, and it's funny because they just wrote, and again, it's just a view of how everything's working out for you. They wrote and talked about how in the moments after thinking this idea, their specific person and them ended up hanging out, I think a couple times in a week since we spoke. And it's funny because they describe them as like tiny interactions, but that's the effect that you have as you begin to start assuming the state, right? As you begin to assume the state, the bridge of events was always working out in your favor, but then we start to kind of see it in that way. We start to see the bridge as something that is helping us out rather than hindering us. And there's literally nothing, again, I know I keep saying this, you're probably like, Kyle, you keep saying the same thing, but it's true. There is no circumstance you could feel would be in your way in your reality that this idea would not work on, because whether or not you think it's the perfect path, your higher self is taking you on that perfect path no matter what. All you have to do is imagine the outcome you want, and you will never be able to come out of the state if you're picturing 1 week from now, you're already with your specific person. And the funny thing is, because our mind mentally holds a place, like the future doesn't actually ever show up, but our mind holds a physical place within it about future things that are occurring that then causes us to, in the negative, if we have a negative perception of the future. That's why fear can persist, even though if it makes no sense. Like, let's say, for example, because everything is connected to what you're predicting. Again, the future doesn't exist, but you'll know that whenever you feel anything, any states, happiness, love, abundance, positivity, sadness, depression, worry, you're predicting and thinking something negative is about to occur. And so this is why because someone was asking me recently, what they do about like their fear. Like they have a fear that they're not going to get to their specific person or it's not going to work out. And what I mentioned obviously was this view. So they only feel fear because it's a misuse of imagination, but also they're kind of predicting something negative that's about to happen that isn't true. But then the reason that it usually persists is because we mentally block out a portion of our future that we feel is physical, even though the future is in our imagination. And we place the negative outcome at that point in time. But then we realize that, wait a minute, this future outcome isn't real. It's all within our imagination. You've never experienced the future. You've never experienced the past. You've only ever experienced now. And so if we think about that, then we realize this mental block that we placed can actually hold any positive outcome, or literally any outcome for that matter at all. So when you think of that, if you ever have a fear right now, I know this is like a little side note, but if you ever have a fear that things are not working out for you, or you know logically your specific person wants to be with you, like from these videos, but you still feel like there's a fear within you, what that means is you are holding within your mind a concrete position in the future of this negative outcome. That's why then, because even if you knew for a fact, so take this, we're actually technically using this technique in the positive whenever we have a lot of worry or fear. Imagine in the future you predicted in 1 week from now everything is horrible. Then it doesn't matter what your specific person says to you today, what proof they have that shows that they're in love with you. If you're predicting that negative outcome, your mind will not believe it. And so predict the positive outcome instead, and you'll find everything begin to work out in your favor. But that was just a little kind of side note, a little tidbit, because I noticed that in a lot of individuals who kind of have fear. If you have fear yourself about like the future, what's going on, remember, you're holding a position in the negative in the future, in the same way, like if I would ask you what you're eating for dinner tonight, I think I made a video on that recently. You kind of know it, right? And you assume it. And because you know and think of it as a future point in time, but again, time, I keep doing that because there is no future, right? It's all happening now. But what you think of or imagine as eating for dinner, is it real? It's not there. It has not showed up right at all, but we're perceiving it as something real because we're assuming it to be, because we're imagining within our mind. And so let's do the same exact thing with our specific person. And just like that success story got, you're going to manifest literally the same exact thing. You're going to notice out of nowhere, your specific person starts showing up for you. They start to reach out to you in ways that they haven't previously. You start to notice more of the positive because, again, you've thus assumed that in a week from now, your specific person and you are together. So your mind and your body, because you know that to be a fact, will start to align perfectly with these outcomes. You'll start to act in ways that you wouldn't maybe normally do, right? You'll start to act and assume the state in ways you've never even imagined, right? It'll be so easy. It'll be so effortless. You won't have to worry, right? It really is as easy as that. And that's sometimes, too, if you ever worried about like, oh, how do I get into the state of the wish fulfilled, or what does that feel like, or whatever? It's literally the concept that if in 1 week from now you were already with your specific person, how would you act? What would you feel? What would you think? That's the wish fulfilled. Because right now you would go through your day automatically and without any effort being in that state, right? You go to the grocery store, you would go to school, you would go to work, you would go to the gym, you would sleep in this state. You would literally be sleeping and still in the state. And that's where then we start to kind of work with this idea that the state is not something that you're getting to. It's something that you're just embodying and being. In the same way, if you know something's happening in the future, you just immediately take that state now. But again, I keep saying future, but because I know people, someone might go to the comments and be like, you don't manifest in the future. Yes, you don't manifest in the future, but your perception of the future is a way that you feel now. In the same way that if you were to win the lottery and all the money there, you just won so much money, it's coming straight to your bank account, but the bank they can't get that much money to you that fast. So they say in a week from now, you'll have all this money. Just give us a week and we'll have it. You won't wait to feel wealthy. You will not wait until next week to feel abundant. You will feel abundant now. You'll start thinking about what you're going to buy. You're going to start thinking about what you're going to wear and what you're going to do and how your life will look like from this point on. And you do that with your specific person as soon as you make the assumption that it is guaranteed, because your manifestation is literally guaranteed time is not technically a factor in your manifestation. We're just using it in order to help us kind of get into that state and feel it. But that's the easiest way to change your state right now. And you will find literally overnight, you become your specific person's number one priority just by acting this out. And honestly, by doing this as well, you're going to find even like, I know it's set for like a week, but you'll manifest so much faster and so much more than you could ever have imagined, because it's the essence of you embodying the state and being the individual that already has it. That's end of story. You fully kind of committed to and acted on law of assumption. It's already done. There's nothing to do. Your mind and body will automatically take you wherever you need to go. Take that assumption and everything's going to work out for you. If you did have any questions on this, make sure to comment them down below. As well as this, if you did have any personal questions or personal whatever, successes, thoughts, worries, fears, anything, I'm with you on your specific person manifestation. So make sure to reach out to me at kyleaugustcoaching.com. As well as this, I know you guys really liked the like story time I had. So I have more story times coming, but I wasn't sure if you guys want every single video to be a story time, because I think it's good to kind of disperse them with other ideas that can help you manifest stuff like that for your own. So, because I know a lot of people were asking like, what happened next with the manifestation? Everything went like the person, if you haven't watched it, I would go watch it. But the manifestation of the Instagram request, they were just constantly reach out to me, constantly trying to hang out with me. It was literally night and day. Someone I did not know, and manifesting them to show up exactly how I wanted. Literally, it's so if you have not seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but make sure to check out my video right before this. It was like how I manifested a specific person who did not know me in 3 hours. Check it out, do the same exact thing, and you're going to get the same exact results. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.